Hello and welcome to yet another session in TechnoFunda Investing YouTube channel. And today we are going to continue with our series of lessons of stock market investing from legends. First video what we discussed was Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's lessons, what we can learn from Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji and how we can compound better in our investing journey. And today we are going to learn investing lessons from a very famous Indian investor who is also known as Warren Buffett of India, Mr. Radhakishan Damani, who is a founder of D-mart also. So if you are all ready for this, let's get started. And this video is powered by Small Case. So I'll be showing you how you can create a small case of portfolio companies of Mr. RK Damani. Let's dive into it. Awesome. Hi, I'm Vivek Mashrani, and in today's session what we are going to do is we are going to go deeper in terms of what is the life journey of Mr. RK Damani. There is Radhakishan Damani, and he's also founder of D-mart, how he has evolved in his journey and how he has made it big. He is one of the top 10 richest people in India, and he also features among top many names in the world as well. And the story of RK Damani is very typical. You know, he is coming from a normal middle class background, born in Mumbai in 1956, I think. And his journey is really amazing. He started his career into different things in terms of stock market and tested out a lot of things. In 1995, he became one of the largest shareholders in the HDFC Bank. So his life journey is really inspiring. And suddenly, you know, in the year of 2000, he exited the stock market and he began working on his retail business, which we know today as D-mart, which is also known as Avenue Supermarket. So right from, you know, coming from a middle class background to trying out different things. Also, he registered with SEBI as a I think broker in the stock market industry also, and then being a biggest shareholder of HDFC Bank in 1995 and then finally becoming biggest shareholder and owner of Avenue Supermarket, his journey has been super inspiring. So let's go deeper into this. I'll share the PowerPoint and we'll try to learn what all are the key lessons from Mr. RK Damani. Okay, so let's come to the first part where he talks about trading will help you to obtain the capital, and investment of your capital will help you to grow it. Okay, so this is a very powerful statement. What he talks about is when he did not have much money, actually he generated a lot of capital through short-term positional trading. And then once he built that initial corpus, he started shifting that to a long term portfolio, which is also called investment in his parlance, and that is what created wealth for him, and that is what grew multifold in his journey. So I also practice a principle of core satellite portfolio approach, where you have a core portfolio which is more like your long-term investment, and to generate alpha and to generate faster capital, you can slightly take higher risk and a shorter time frame, and you can have positional investing ideas, which is also called swing trading these days. But when you apply fundamentals to it, it's really not a trading, it becomes more like a positional investing. So pretty much RK Damani also was using this strategy. In fact, he did a lot of short selling in the times of panic of Harshad Mehta times. Okay, so that is how what he demonstrated was that even in a bull or bear market, you can make money. A lot of Indian investors who made it big, even Warren Buffett, they were generally, long only investors. They were taking positions on the long side. But Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and likes of Radhakishan Damani also demonstrated that sometimes if there is like really big opportunity, money can be made by short selling also. Now, I am not a big advocate of short selling as such, but it is the mindset that you need to understand that whatever works for you can make money for yourself. Okay, so that is the powerful thing which we need to learn from Radhakishan Damani. And Mr. Radhakishan Damani also has this powerful statement that always keep an eye on long term. It is important for every successful person in all spheres of your life. A lot of time, we go into like instant gratification. And if you read about Warren Buffett and how his journey, if you read about Charlie Munger, they all have said the same thing, that we need to have a delayed gratification. Think long term and have a wider vision in terms of what we want to achieve in this journey. And that is what pretty much I think RK Damani also had his as a philosophy, that always I need to see long term and how I can compound better on a long term business. Yeah. And that is where one more key learning that comes into my mind is riding a mega trend. If you think about the business of D-mart, right? He was actually thinking about a mega trend that was just kicking off in the Indian retail industry. He understood the power that retail in India can be big. The consumption is just getting started, and in all the developed countries, this was a very, very big trend. And that is where in the year of 2000, he quit stock market for a while, and then started building his business starting from 2002. And now we know like Avenue Supermarket is one of the most successful retail chains in India, and still he is stuck with the simplicity of the business. And that is what we'll learn further from his life journey. The third very, very important aspect, and which goes unnoticed many times, is what he says, that let your work speak, right? Although he's a very, very successful person, he doesn't believe in pompous living. He's very, very simple in terms of lifestyle. He remains low profile, and the kind of humbleness he has in his life is remarkable. So a lot of investors with the initial successes, they actually go gung-ho, and sometimes that ego also comes into their mind. And that is, I think, one of the important reason why he is also one of the top 10 richest people in India, because he has always been grounded, low profile, and he doesn't come on TV very often. In fact, to prepare this presentation itself, it took me some while, because there is not much publicly available content out there, and you have to really actually extract the learnings from their life journey rather than explicitly him talking about his journey explicitly on the media. Yeah. So that is where remaining low profile and being humble is one of the most important aspect which we can learn from him. And simplicity, in terms of what he was doing as a style, and even in terms of business, what he is running in terms of D-mart, if you think about it, is kept simple intentionally. He pays all the vendors upfront. He gets the best possible price, focuses on the least cost, which is a key ingredient in the retail business, because there are wafer thin margins, and then he believes in scale. Right? So simplifying his investing process and simplifying his overall business practices has been one of the key component which we need to learn. Right? So keep it simple. Even in your investing strategy, you can keep it super simple and learn from it. And in fact, the mega trend thing and the core portfolio satellite mastery that I have discussed, I've also covered in my book also. So you can grab a copy of my book anytime. You can go to Amazon and check it out. But there, we have covered this important lesson of mega trend. If you are able to pick up one mega trend correctly, it can create huge wealth for you. And when we discuss the portfolio of Mr. RK Damani and what all holdings are there and what has been his strategy in the subsequent part of this session, you will understand how critical this learning is for your investing journey. Next, let's understand what are other learnings which we can derive from him. Other powerful learning is that he demonstrated this himself, is that there are multiple ways to make money if you know what you are doing. Okay, so a lot of people keep fighting that technical analysis is good, fundamental analysis is good, value investing is good, special situation is good, growth investing is good. It's not the case, right? So in the initial years of his journey, he did a lot of short-term trading. He also, did short selling in the era of Harshad Mehta crash, when a lot of stocks were overvalued, and he understood that in this kind of market, the only way to make money is short selling. He also did a lot of positional trading and investing with a very short term, and he generated capital. He invested in a lot of special situation, and then he went into investing into value investing kind of companies, where he was riding HDFC Bank when it was very, very early on in terms of growth journey. And later on, if you think about his own company, which is D-mart, he is doing growth investing. If you check out the valuation of D-mart and that's Avenue Supermarkets, it's insanely high. But then still he is doing growth investing because he knows that the business is growing and there is so much of opportunity out there. So the important trait to learn here is that don't get fixated to one thing and think that everything else is not right or we cannot make money out of it. If you are able to really, focus on good businesses and understand the connecting dots, you can make money out of any kind of strategy if you know what you are doing. Okay, so let's now jump into the portfolio. Okay, so let's go into the portfolio of his. And another important thing before we even jump there is having skin in the game. A lot of people, when they talk about different things, they are not having skin in the game. But if you think about Mr. RK Damani, and when I show the portfolio, you will understand that his majority of the holding is concentrated in Avenue Supermarkets, right? So if you see the highest holding, like 191,000 crore kind of portfolio, is just concentrated in one company, that is his own company. So he's having like full skin in the game. The second highest holding is India Cement, which is around 1700 crores. The third is like VST Industries, around 1600 crores. And, then they have Trent and Sundaram Finance and United Breweries. So now again, a point to think about is this. One, he was one of the major shareholder in HDFC Bank, and still he sold a majority of the holding when he realized that it is probably overvalued and there are a lot of other opportunities to tap on. So having that flexibility and mindset of exiting and going into another opportunity is super important without anchoring ourselves. And that is where, he has actually had an open mind to put money into a lot of small and mid-cap companies, which I've also covered in my book, which I call bamboo investing, where there is a lot of chance of businesses to grow. And that has been the pattern in his own journey also. Now, the list which I've got is from Trendline, where you can find all these, big investors, what they are investing and how they are investing. Another critical lesson to learn is his majority of the holding, like out of, probably 2 lakh plus crore of capital which he has, most of the winners are having majority of the holding, right? So he has like India Cements, VST Industries, Trent, Sundaram Finance, United Breweries. So his winners are having majority proportion, and his tail stocks are very, very tiny. So the kind of proportion in which his holding are, it's starkly different. And that is what a lot of time we don't understand, that unless we don't ride our winners with proper allocation, there is no point. A lot of us might have got a lot of winners in our portfolio, and in fact for him the biggest winner is D-mart, and that is having highest allocation and a disproportionate allocation, of course because he's a founder and CEO. But that speaks volume about his wealth creation journey, right? If you have got one business also right, you can make it large. Now all of you, as I said, you can also create your own small case, and since this video is also powered by small case, I'll tell you how you can do this, right? So what I've done is I generally like to create a small case. You just click on create small case, and you can add the stocks which are portfolio stocks of any good investors, and if you want, you can even invest in them. So say for example, if you want to add Avenue Supermarket, you can just go and add D-mart. If you want to add say Trent, you can just go ahead and do that. Same way, you can add say Sundaram Finance. So this way, you can actually create your custom small case, and if you want to do a SIP on those stocks, you can do that. So all these lists are publicly available even on the Ticker Tape website. There is one article which I'll share the link also below in the description. You can find all these holdings, and then it is just a matter of replicating it and creating your own small case. If you don't want to create, I have already created one small case of RK Damani portfolio stocks. So what you can do is if you want to download all these companies' name and download this small case, you can go to technofunda.co/RK Damani, and you should be able to download it. Now, the tools which I was using, that kind of tools gives you information about a lot of different data points. Right, so I was using Trendline, I was using Ticker Tape, I was using Small Case. These are different tools that will help you to be better in your investing journey. I mean, if you want to be better at your screening, you can actually go to this video which is on my channel, top 5 stock market analysis tools for India. So just Google top 5 stock market analysis India, or in fact in YouTube you can search plus Vivek Mashrani and you should be able to find it. Right, so this is the thesis, and very important other point from his portfolio is he was able to find businesses which were having mega trend, those businesses which were having potential to grow, many businesses which were having economic moats, right? And I've also done a detailed video on that. What are economic moats? In fact, D-mart is having a very strong economic moat of efficiency and low cost through which it is growing. And also a lot of businesses which he picked were monopoly businesses, right? So these are different learnings which you should take away and understand how he strategized and became one of the wealthiest person in the entire country. Yeah. And if you want to learn more on what I do in terms of TechnoFunda investing, how I blend technicals and fundamentals, you can just check out this free course worth 5,999. Apply the code formula and you should be able to access it. So that's it from my end. The key learning, I would say from my end, what I learned from Ramesh Damani is having that, winner takes it all mindset and betting on things which are working in your favor, right? So where odds is in your favor, you focus there and maximize your allocation and ride your winners. That is one of the biggest takeaway I would like to leave all of you with. Thank you so much for joining in. Hope this video was useful. And we'll see you in the other learning session in this channel. Bye-bye.